June 6, Edo State government announced the reduction in working days for civil servants from 5 to 3. Although government offices remain open for services for 5 working days, as civil servants now operate staggered working days. Also, government cut school days to 3 days a week, Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, extending learning time for primary schools by 1 hour and secondary schools by 2 hours.
Without having to use their vehicles for fuel or spend money to get transport or taxi. So we have a vehicle moving every hour from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every hour, moving from Government House to JUPSA, which is the Public Service Academy, to the main campus here, the Secretariat, and all government establishments. We're also digitalizing our city, connecting fiber optics around the city. This is also to make our people be able to have their commerce. Those that don't have money in their pockets to buy data, they can come to selected areas around the city.
These policies are to mitigate impact of fuel subsidy removal, especially as it affects cost of transportation. Workers in Edo have mixed feelings about government's action. To some, it helps them save money that would have been used for transportation for other expenses, while to some others, it is not enough.
People work 5 days, they produce very little. Now you are cutting it down to 3 days and 2 days. And you expect them to maintain the same level of production, the same standard of production. Our children go to school for 5 days, we still say they are not learning enough. Now they have to manage 3 days.
They still have other things that take their income, prices of things in the market. Whether they bring it down to 2 days, even 1 day, if they like, they say, okay, don't come to work at all throughout the whole week. It's still the same thing. They should work on the minimum wage.
However, there are praises of some steps taken by government, mainly the Infrastructure Support Fund establishment, go along with some concerns and recommendations.
Infrastructure support fund from the federal government is a right step in the right direction, provided that the resources allocated for this will be used properly for the very purpose for which it is meant. You recall that in the past, government has given certain grants to states of which you cannot give account of what it was used for. If you look at our state, Edo, for instance, you cannot travel from here to Auchi conveniently because the road is in a terrible state. Saple Road to Logbo, the boundary between Edo and Delta State, is in a big mess. Not to talk of the Ovia River Bridge that has consumed a lot of persons. So if you put that together, if the funds are released as at when due, and proper contractors who can handle the job are given the responsibility, we may be headed towards the much desired development in terms of road infrastructure.
I think the main thing to do as a follow-up is to monitor. Special monitoring teams, maybe made up by ministry officials, affected ministry officials, should be set up by government to actually monitor and make sure that these funds are actually used to set up the infrastructures for the benefit of the people.
For the Infrastructure Support Fund, this is the plan of the state government.
As soon as the state government has more clarity on that infrastructure fund, because we're already making plans, of course we're making our own plans, federal government plan is coming. As long as once we get clarity on those plans of federal government, we'll try to merge it with what we're already planning here and make sure that because our priority is Edo people.
While the people expect a rollout and implementation of more palliatives in the coming days, weeks and even months, more people have shown concern and commitment to engage government positively to ensure transparency and that funds meant to cushion effects of fuel subsidy removal are effectively utilized. For Dateline 360, Agatha Egware-Ojo, NTA News.